Dog, you guys, welcome back to the Invested Dawg. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about IBM, ticket symbol, International Business Machines Incorporation. But before I do, as always, if you want to talk directly about that particular stock, go to that 8-minute mark. For everybody else, I want to address the hater in the room. A couple of days ago, I did a video on RIVN. And yes, there was a little controversy in it, but there was one hater in the comments that I do want to address. It said, whoever the heck this is, DBF876, some crazy person. Anyways, they said, you sound like someone who hasn't followed Vivian for very long and have a very limited understanding of Vivian or the current EV market. This company isn't burning through cash for no reason. They're investing in autonomy, robotics, and EV technology, and much of it is in-house. If you want to be the best EV out there, you have to invest billions to get there, and Amazon and VW are just a few who understand that. It really sounds like you just skimmed the surface of a company and blah, 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 blah. They go on. Okay, this is a thing. This is a investing platform. This is a investing YouTube channel. We invest in stuff that will actually grow our money during times of a recession. And we need to think about where our best investment can go for that transfer of wealth to come into our pocket. I respond to him. I'm like, hey, yo, that's a fair point, and I respect it. But I actually agree that they do have some strong engineering talent. My concern, though, is that the technology is cute, it's impressive and whatnot, but we care about the economics. We care about the capital requirements. We care about if it's going to survive the consumer environments and if they even have the capability of having prolonged cash burn. A lot of companies look amazing. A lot of companies are like, oh yeah, we're doing this, we're doing that. But do they actually have the bandwidth and the money to back it? So that's, in my opinion, when we invest in a recession type of market, that's where we need to be putting our focus on. If we can actually make money long term, we're not talking about 30 days, we're not talking about 60 days, we're not talking about 6 months, we're talking about long term. But haters are going to be hater. I do appreciate these comments that you guys are writing. But yeah, don't try to say like, oh, well, there's no credibility in what you're saying. We're talking about long-term recession investing. Okay, and with that, let's go back over to IBM before I run out of time. I forgot if I told them 7 minutes or 8 minutes, but IBM is in a little bit of trouble. And are they able to make their way out of it? IBM, a black person, is suing IBM. The story originally was published on the HR Dive. To receive daily news and insights, go over to our HR Drive newsletter. So there's some issues going on with IBM. In an email to HR, an IBM spokesperson stated that these allegations are baseless, as race played no role in the decision to end that individual's employment, and discrimination of any kind is not tolerated within IBM, and it is entirely inconsistent with the culture and the values that they hold. So, this person says the executive in Brooks alleged that general manager of her division in South Asia preferred a South Asian employee, which is a little bit discriminatory. Oh, that's a big word. I can't say that. But I don't know about this. I don't know if this is actually going to stick or not. IBM has the proper money to back up anything, so that's fine. Next article we're going to talk about, does IBM think that 2026 AI and sovereign cloud push change to the bull case for IBM? As it for 2023, IBM's unveiled a broad suite of new enterprise AI, hybrid clouds, and sovereign products, including upgrades to some of their platforms that they already have. With these, they think that 2026's announcements, they'll be able to expand on their revenue. International Business Machine Investments narrative further recap. To own IBM today, you need to believe in hybrid cloud, mainframes, and fast-growing enterprises involving AI. The most relevant update here is the IBM's expansion of enterprise advantage, especially the Context Studio and Process Studios, which sit directly on the hybrid AI consulting catalyst. They have a lot going on. Will they be able to make it? Later in the video, we're going to talk about the revenue versus earnings and if they're hitting their earnings per share. Yet, while they think of 2026 showcase IBM's AI momentum, investors should also be aware that the company and the macro pressures could still weigh on IBM. International Business Machines narrative projects that almost $75 billion in revenue and the $10 billion earnings by 2028. And this requires a 5.1 year revenue growth and a roughly 4.6 billion earnings increase from almost $6 billion today. They have a lot going on. There's a lot that IBM is putting out, and IBM is a monster. Their stock has been around forever. Some of these most optimistic analysts already assume that IBM could grow their revenue to about $83 billion and earnings to roughly about $14.3 billion, while also warning that high debt and talent constraints could cap on the upside. Who knows? But let's go ahead and get directly into the stock. Hold on, my computer is always so slow. IBM is making significant stride in the AI and quantum computing while facing the legal challenges mixed with the investors' sentiment. Yeah, they're in a tough spot sometimes. Think 2026 does highlight some of this, and what they closed out on May 8th at $229, a little bit closer to the 230 mark. So it's kind of stagnant for the days, but let's go over to the 1 month. 1 month they're down 5%, which is okay. But remember, we have to look at the overall picture. 6 months, they're down 25%. 1 year, they're down for 10%, almost 10%. And the overall for 5 years, they are up a whopping of 65%. That is a decent amount. So let's look at the revenue versus earnings. Again, once more, I do want to say to this, if they lose that lawsuit, it is going to affect these numbers. IBM faces legal scrutiny over their allegations for racial discrimination and layoffs and their lawsuits and former black executives, which may impact its public image and DEI efforts. So obviously, this is all going to be impacted by that. So the revenue for 2023, 2022, 2024, and 2025 are pretty consistent. For 2022, they were able to bring in $60 billion and their earnings was $8 billion. These type of gaps kind of reminds me of airline stocks. Airline stocks have huge gaps. Their revenue that they're bringing in and their earnings that they're able to keep are a huge gap between the two. So it's always concerning when we see that they are bringing in a decent amount of money, but they're not able to pay the investors. However, their earnings per share, they were able to hit. They were able to beat ever since Q2 of 2025. That's pretty decent. Q3 of 2025, yes, they missed it. And then also Q1 of 2026, they missed it. But I do think that for Q2 of 2026, that's going to come out on July 22nd, is going to be, I think they are going to beat that. Analysis recommendations, there's a ton that are saying to buy. There's a ton saying to hold. Essentially an equal amount of investors are saying, okay, this could be a great long-term investment, but let's just watch it. Let's just wait and see. It is a little bit lower for the analysis price target for today. Let's wait and see what it opens up at tomorrow when the stock market opens on May 11th. I do want to see it rising up a little bit. So we'll see. Analysts predict a mixed outlook for IBM, with revenue estimating the current quarter for almost $18 billion. And that is reflecting that 5% year-over-year growth amid the market challenges. There's so much going on. Profit margins is 15%. Market cap is $212 billion. Enterprise value is $270 billion. They do have a decent amount of debt. Total debt equity is about 211%. That is, oh my goodness, that is a lot. But as always, you guys, let me know what you think in the comments. If you have something that you don't, an opinion that you don't agree with me on, let me know that. Of course, be respectful and don't try to put me down. But again, this is a community effort. We're all pulling numbers together. We're all talking about actual analytics of these stocks and trying to make some profit during this time of uncertainty. And with that, you guys, this is the Invested Dawg signing off.